And 5, 4, 3, 2. Lean back.
Is that what it says?
Pretty sure it says something like lean back.
I couldn't tell you.
I think it says lean back. I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we are leaning back. We are here for episode 9 of KYP, aka Know Your Personnel, the greatest sports podcast in the history of sports podcasts. Don't ask me, ask your best friend. I'm here with my co-host, Jarod McElroy, here to deliver the news on what we are talking about today. We're really excited as golfers to talk about one thing in particular. So, Jarod, what are we laying down today?
Is Masters Week. So we are going to talk about the Masters. We're going to have a little fun today. At the end, we'll kind of go through a couple random NFL scenarios that you're not quite prepared for. So we'll do that at the end. But first and foremost, it's Masters Week. Let's get into it. Did you peep Rory's Masters dinner menu that he had?
I've seen the menu, the starters, whatever. But tell you what, you want to put a Wagyu filet in front of me, I'm gonna eat that.
I'm gonna go as far as to say this might be I don't understand the outrage. This might be the best top to bottom dinner I have seen since following the Masters and Masters dinners. It is flawless, top to bottom. The carpaccio.
Yeah, the yellowfin carpaccio.
Steak. Here's my only gripe. What is he? Is he making his guests choose between the Wagyu and the salmon? Because that's classless. I saw an or between the Wagyu and the salmon. There should never be an or. It's always and. You're spending enough money on the dinner.
Right.
Give them a little bit of both. What are we doing? But regardless, top to bottom, flawless menu.
I do love it. That sticky toffee pudding too. That sounds so delicious. But yeah, a little surf and turf. Give me both. I want both. I'm a greedy guy. If I'm at that table, I'm going to eat. I got to eat. So
and maybe even just cutting out the salmon. I know some people probably like it. There's some older guys there. Maybe they need to watch how much red meat they're taking in.
Sure.
But maybe sub it out for a lobster tail, and then I think we're at perfection. Because then that goes right with the Wagyu filet, and we're really cooking.
I'm assuming that you probably have to RSVP to this dinner. I mean, it's the winner, it's the champions dinner, but you still probably have to fill out one of those little forms, say like, I want this. Like, I'd check both. Like, both, please. We'll do it. But regardless, Rory set the dinner. Is he going to set the dinner again next year in 2027? Is he our winner this year? I guess does he go back to back?
I don't know. I feel like this is a tricky one to get into and talk about because the chalky names are really the ones that if you had to put your money on it, I mean, that's probably where you're putting your money. But we'll get into a couple. I don't necessarily think of them as sleepers. I think they are very capable winners, and if I'm going to actually go out on a limb and make a projection of who it's going to be, I'm not choosing any of the top names. But with that being said, it's very hard to not think that Rory's going to be at the top of the leaderboard yet again, especially now that he can play loose, free, doesn't have that pressure of locking it in. I think he kind of understands that from this point on. If he gets another Masters under his belt, it's kind of just, an extra thing there to his resume, but I don't know, man. What do you think?
Yeah,
what do you make of Rory right now in his current form?
I mean, his current form is always a really good golfer. I'm just not sure if he's putting well enough right now. His strokes gained approach is there. I think he's somewhere in like the top 20. And what's interesting about Augusta, and I think this kind of zooms out a little bit, there's an archetype for winners at Augusta National. They're hitting their driver pretty straight and pretty accurate. Not just that week, but leading up to. They are scoring really well on the par fives, and in particular the par threes. Like, the par threes are so difficult there. You've got bacon strip landing zones, basically, where you got to throw an absolute dart. They're short enough where you got to be able to control your spin, but long enough to really make you hit a quality iron shot. And I just think it's so unique the way that all the par threes play, especially once you get to the back nine. And so, again, you score well on par fives, you score well on those par threes. And typically, if you're going to win at Augusta, you got to be a lights out putter. You
Yeah.
have to be a lights out putter. And does that include the rest of the short game? Yeah, absolutely. So you're really whittling down your list to the guys who are streaky with the putter or the guys who are just in strong putting form right now. So I don't think Rory is there. I think his iron game and the rest of his game in general is there. But then also at Augusta, you got to play a couple times. You got to have been around the track. I think the average winner, I saw a stat, they've played at least 5 or 6 times before they actually have their victory. A few names discluded from that. But you gotta have played a little bit. You got to be in good form, obviously, and just putting has to be critical. For those reasons, I'm out on Rory.
Yeah. Typically, you have to be able to move the ball right to left, or if you're a lefty, hit a cut, which we've seen with the lefty winners that we have seen in the past. Bubba Watson, Phil Mickelson, etc. And Rory moves the ball right to left better than anybody we know. Throw a Cam Young into that category.
Bryson
And then
moves it really well right to left. Hits that big draw.
Dude, he can't control how much of it he's putting on it every time. That was the issue, and he finds himself 10 shots a tournament, overdoing it, and ends up being the downfall of the tournament because, 10 bad shots can ruin a whole weekend for you. So, and we've seen it time and time again with him. But
one bad shot at Augusta, one bad shot goes from, hey, this is a par to I might be making triple here just because of some of the horrible situations you can get in.
yeah, what is it, 15, where like if you go a little bit long, your chip back onto the green gets real dicey.
Forget about it.
Yeah, so we know that they're the tricks of the trade of the golf course that is Augusta takes a lot of finesse. But with him, with Scotty also, I feel like he falls into that same bucket right now where he's just not playing that good of golf. And you can't count them out when it comes to these big tournaments though, because we've seen what they can do. Scotty's won multiple at this venue now. So it's hard to think that he's not going to come and play better. But like you said, to your point, you have to putt very well. And he is back on a horrendous string of putting. Like this year, it's been quite terrible, especially within all the misses within 6 feet. That's not going to cut it, and that's not going to get it done. So I think shifting to Scotty now, for him to come out and compete and make something of this weekend, it's going to take him dialing in his irons and giving himself closer birdie putts and his wedges as well. Because off the tee, he finds fairways. He finds a way to put himself in good angles and have shots in. So if he can really dial that in and make up for, and honestly just putt okay, I think he'll have a shot. But just like you said with Rory, I am kind of out on Scotty this week.
Yeah, and again, any guy who's won at Augusta, you can't discount for the remaining years because it's such a difficult place to win. And once you've understood what it takes to win in terms of, like you're talking about, managing your way around the golf course to set yourself up for shots, once you know how to do that, guys, it becomes much easier to win that second one almost. We see a lot of repeat winners. I shouldn't say we see a lot of repeat winners, but those top guys, we tend to see them win again. So for Scotty, he's already got 2. He's going to manage the course well. You nailed it on the head when you talked about his iron play needing to be better. He's outside the top 80 in strokes gained approach. He's not hitting it close. And then I think because he's not hitting it close, he's lost a little bit of confidence in that putter. When you're having to lag putt all of the time and judge that longer distance and you're not getting any confidence nailing those inside 8 feet putts, it gets really, really grueling out there to just mentally stay in it. So could he show up for a great week? Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody's going to doubt that. I don't think his game is in good enough form as a whole for me to feel confident that that can happen. And I think that of all, like, we can just call them the big guns. I think we've got Rory, we've got Scotty, we've got John Rahm, Liv, but he's playing some incredible golf right now. Bryson
And a previous winner.
and a previous winner. Bryson DeChambeau, just because again he plays good golf. Augusta hasn't been kind to him, but he's just such a popular name. And then Xander and Justin Rose to me are on the fringe in terms of big guns. Justin Rose plays lights out there every year. And then Xander seems to always be up there on the leaderboard, but then crumbles one of the days, whether that's Friday or Saturday, just has a letdown round where he doesn't close it out. So like those are like my big guns, the guys I'm looking at that if you go to DraftKings, what are your betting odds? They're going to be up there. Of those guys, I really think Rom's the only one that has a chance.
Yeah, I really like Rom this week. Again, it's a place where you have to get crafty. That's what makes it so fun to watch, is you really get to see the artistry in everybody's game, and he's a guy, he can move it both ways. Was it last week, a couple weeks ago, when you said something about the top 10 players aren't even moving it both ways?
No, I said guys
Regardless.
outside the top 10. There's not a lot of guys
I don't
outside
think
the
he's
top
at the
10
top
who
10,
work
but
it
anyways.
well, that's because the
John
whole
Rahm.
live
Okay.
world golf ranking, blah, blah, blah. John Rahm, I'm not sure if he ever hits a draw. He hits a cut, and then he hits one
He draws the ball.
and then he hits one that just cuts a little bit less. And I think that's
Regardless.
and that's his straight ball.
Regardless. No, like you said, he's playing really good golf regardless of where he's competing right now. I think you can tell where somebody's game is at. I mean, they're playing good, hard courses on live. You still are playing against the course. So if you're going out and you're putting up 22 under on a course where the rest of the field is at 15 under, like that, it's a tough week of work. So I like where his game is at. Like you said, Xander, it's hard to trust week to week, and also right now he keeps putting up one or sometimes two bad rounds at tournament, and that's going to be his downfall. He can't have a bad day. If Xander's really going to go out and make a run at this, it's going to take 4 solid days, and it will be interesting to see the winning score this year. Conditions wise, I'm not sure what the forecast is for the weekend, but I feel like if just one guy has a good weekend, we could see similar to what we've seen the last few weeks, where it's just one person taking over and it's kind of just ho-hum from there. And I would hate to see that. I want to see drama on Sunday at the Masters, so I would really prefer that to not be the case. But if it is, that's where I see like a Justin Rose really, because he's so solid. And talking about a guy who can put together 4 quality rounds, not go out and shoot in the 70s. Like he could post a 64 one day, a 65 one day maybe, and really put some pressure on other guys, and then just coast at a 69 the next 3 days. Like it could be that simple for him. But
Yeah.
you want to know my actual pick?
No, because I want to tell you about the weather. We've got perfect conditions in between 70 and 80 degrees sunny. Word on the block is right now, and this is from players throughout their interviews this week and people who have been to the venue, it's dry. And
That's not good for scores.
And it is only going to get faster as the week goes on. So we could have a short game chipping massacre. And all the creativity that it takes to chip and putt well at Augusta, seeing the lines, painting the picture, not being mechanical. I think that's why Bryson struggles. He's a very much mechanical putter. But you can't be mechanical. You gotta see a little bit more of the artistry, which is why Jordan Spieth will not be your winner, but I think he has a chance to play well. The only thing that hasn't been great is his putter is ice cold. Anyways, but I do want to know, stake your claim, who is your winner? I feel like you might steal mine, but who is your winner for the 2026
We might be
Masters?
Okay. Well, let's talk about a few things. So one, with the weather for the weekend warriors out there, I know an 80-degree day sounds great to you, but for playing conditions at Augusta, it's going to be pretty tough for them. One thing you're going to have to learn to do is hold greens with your approach, and that's going to be a big factor of it as well. You know who holds greens pretty well on dry days? He's a nice Englishman named Tommy Fleetwood.
Oi!
And that's who I
Oi,
like.
does he?
That's who I like this week, man. He's this is where I'm like, again, kind of like a similar situation to Rory, where um he's got the win under his belt now. The monkey's off his back. I mean, say what you want. He won a tournament on the tour. That was the thing, is he couldn't win a tournament. Um, Also a tournament that paid him $15 million. So you can
Insane.
scoff all you want.
I'll never touch that.
Bro. But anyways, I like Tommy this week. His game's in great form. He's, again, you want to talk about a guy strokes gained approach. He's lights out with his irons right now. He's got the 9 wood in the bag.
My
We're gonna
gosh.
see that thing in action. But also he knows how to really just like again, placing tee shots is so important. So to have multiple shots off the tee and also have like a nice little fairway finder, knowing when to hit the right shots. He's dialed. He's been around for a while, and I think this might be his time. What do we think?
I believe that because I teetered back and forth for a couple of guys. Tommy Fleetwood was up there, but because of his lack of clutch factor, yes, he won at Eastlake. I just, it's a small field, and I'm not trying to discount it. Again, that's money I'll never see, and that's a swing I'll never have. And he's got a great swing. But you are right about trajectory, controlling your distance, especially with your wedges. And you got to think about guys who have all the different shots in their bag and control the spin. Can you let it roll out a little bit, or do you want that thing to rip back? A guy that can do that to me and has a chance to win this week is Cam Young.
Yeah.
Cam Young, I think, is playing lights out right now. His iron game is great. His ability off the tee, right? We're talking about par five scoring averages. His ability to get so much further down the fairway and hit shorter clubs in. I mean, that's always been, what makes sometimes these winners really start to excel in a tournament like the Masters. But I just think he's playing such great golf right now. He's putting extremely well. I believe he's inside the top 5 for strokes gained putting right now. I could be minorly off on that, but I just love his game. I love seeing him win the Players earlier this year, another event where you just had tough kind of turmoil conditions and there's a lot of energy around the event and people are kind of falling right behind you. That's going to happen. You're going to watch guys put balls in the water in Amen Corner. You're going to watch people next to you hit bad shots. And when you see bad shots happen, how do you stay in your own lane and just keep executing? I think Cam Young's going to do it.
Cam Young is the definition of composure. And that can hurt you and be good because you have to feed off the crowd at Augusta a little bit, right? I mean, we saw, but that can also be added pressure. And if added pressure to the wrong guy, then you're going to crumble and all of a sudden it's no longer your tournament. So I do want to say with Cam Young's putting, his caddy did say that they dialed in a mallet putt for him, and that's where they really saw things changing. So just want that on the record. But again, a guy who can move the ball right to left, like you said, every group he's in, he's going to be hitting last because he's just that much longer than everybody else. And I think to Bryson's credit, he's kind of showed that you can overpower Augusta. You like it does help, but you have to still be controlled. Although Cam Young is very long and that helps his game, he's not hitting it at 100 at all times. And I think you'll notice that with anybody. They hold back and they show some restraint with their swing and their swing speed. He's just dialed right now. He's in a really good spot. I like the Cam Young play. So I'm rooting for him to take second to Tommy.
For all the nerds out there, I did misspeak. It wasn't his strokes gained putting that was top 5. It's his strokes gained off the tee, which absolutely makes sense. Like we were talking about, he's going to be hitting last. He's going to have shorter approaches in. Can I talk about a dark horse? A guy who just always shows up. He's kind of like a Michael Myers guy.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America, Patrick Reed.
Oh my God, no! Please, I knew you were going to say this, bro.
He's got a top 15. He's got a top 15 in 4 out of the last 5 Masters. He's a previous winner. He's got a 3rd place last year. He's playing, honestly, he's playing incredible golf right now. He's won on the European Tour, I think, twice already this year. He wants to get back to the PGA Tour. I'm thinking that this is a guy, he takes off the villain mask. he puts on the hero mask and he wins at Augusta National. I think there's a chance he gets a second win. I don't want to say like I don't have the confidence like I do for Cam Young, but if you were looking at, again, to me, a dark horse guy, even before Justin Rose, before Ludwig Aberg, I know that people love what he's got going on. I really think he's got a chance. He's got a chance. Everybody in the field has a chance.
Listen,
But I think Captain America's got something. And you know what I love? He's got a blade. And he's got magic hands, dog. He's got magic hands. Short hands.
Okay, I'm not going to get short hands. I'm not going to respond too crazy here on that one. I'm going to let you have your dark horse. Good pick, man. He plays well every year here. I like it.
So insincere.
God, man, I hate the guy. But regardless, dark horse pick for me. Piggybacking off of that, someone who's not a threat to the U.S., someone who doesn't cheat when he plays, although they have accused him. I like Akshay Bhatia, man. His game is, and I always bring up his name because he does. He competes in these tournaments. It's going to be really hard. But if I'm thinking like first-time winners, you know, there's not a very long list of big name people who haven't won it. I mean, outside of like, you know, Bryson, obviously, and your Justin Rose, we already talked about them, but he moves the ball right to left, which will be very, very important. He putts really well. His speed has been incredible lately. And he's, again, hitting your line is very important. And if you ever watch how he putts, and again, I know it's the broomstick, whatever, it's end over end every single time. So at that point, it just comes down to green reading. And Tim and his caddy seem pretty dialed at this point. He does the aim point. You know, it's kind of harsh to watch, but being able to hit your line, read greens, and speed control goes a long way, especially at Augusta. So if he can really dial in the wayward shots, I think he's a name that maybe not win it, but at least be top 5. Like I could see him really making a run at it. And to your point about Ludwig, he doesn't look that dialed right now, man. He looks really good, and I think we all know the potential that he has. Obviously, he was just in contention again, but he's making too many mistakes. And you can't, again, we've said it multiple times already, you cannot make those mistakes at Augusta and expect to win. So sure, he'll put up a good week, but am I going to bet on him to win? No, unless he shows up flawless. So he's got some work to do on the game, but man, when he figures it out, that's a dangerous, dangerous guy.
There's something about the eye test with Ludwig that every week you're like, no, yeah, he can win it. And he's got that capability and he's got that potential. Can he get it all together? But you see him up there, he's tall, physically fit, broad shoulders. He's a big guy, real big guy. Big guy, okay?
Are you looking at the same guy?
No, but he's got that strong physical presence as a golfer when he steps up on the tee and you see him hit it and how smooth and quick and how simple the action is. You just believe it.
So good.
You believe it. You're like, yeah, no, that could win every single week. I do want to throw out, if there's a tier lower than Dark Horse, like a Dark Pony or maybe Shadowed Cow, Jake Knapp.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Jake Knapp, why he's number 1 or 2 strokes gained putting. Now, is he great around the green? Not particularly, but if he has a great wedge week, he could get his name up there. He could get his name up there.
You know, if this was the Cognizant Classic, maybe we're talking about the Masters. So, mystery segment number 1 for you. Are you ready for this?
Yes, and then just one more name, Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
You got to keep his eye. You got to keep your eye on him.
You always have to keep your eye on Matt, man. If he shows up with his ace stuff every week, then he's gonna be in the field. Today, first segment. This is Masters focused. I want to see how many names out of the top 10 you can tell me. Okay, here's the list. And you get 3 strikes. We're going to see how many you can get. If you guess wrong, that's a strike. Tell me who has the best finish at the Masters that will be in the field this week. Who has the best finish at the Masters that has not won already? I have 10 names here. Let's see. 7 of them have finished T2. 4 of them have finished T3. So if you can give me 3 of those 4, I'll give them to you. Any of those. Don't look up the answers there. That's how
I gotta look at the Masters field just to make sure that I know who's in there. Justin Rose is number 1. He's got a T.
Tell you what, it's a pretty chalky list.
I'm sure,
but there's a couple spins in there.
Big names, and these guys are all in the field this year.
In the field this week, you're expecting these are all relevant people, and they've either had top 2 finish or top 3. Let's go, come on.
Tyrrell Hatton.
Nope.
Hatton's not in there. Okay.
That's strike number 1. I want to say his is best finish was top 5.
Finau fell off really hard that one year.
Think about 2 years ago.
Who?
Rookie at the Masters.
Who was a rookie at the Masters
Showed up
last year?
Come on, man. You got to give me some names. Let's rip through
Robbie
these.
McIntyre?
No. Strike 2. Come on. You're only going to get one name on this list? T2.
You act like I got it. You're acting like I remember. Nobody remembers second place. Isn't that the most famous quote in the history of sports? Nobody remembers who was second.
To my point, there's a lot of these guys that are going to be competing this week.
Let's see.
This is just a quick knowledge check. Let's see how much you've been paying attention to these last Masters. Who's got the best finishes that just haven't been able to get it done? One of them. We just said his name.
This is crazy hard. You're baiting me into Akshay, but I'm not gonna say Akshay.
Rookie at the Masters 2 years ago. They thought he was gonna get it done.
Was it Ludwig?
It was Ludwig Oberg.
Ludwig? Okay.
T2 at the Masters as a rookie. You got 8 names left.
Jeez.
Come on, man. We got a couple Aussies on the list.
There's no way. Minwoo Lee did not have a top 10. I'm sorry, a T.
Couple Aussies on the list.
Jason Day.
Yes. Jason
Day's in there. Scott's won it.
Yep, he's a winner, so he does not qualify for this.
I know Ryan Fox is an Aussie.
Live golf.
He'd be an interesting guy that could have done it. Could have
Live golf.
There. Oh no, Cam Smith.
Cam Smith.
We thought for sure Cam Smith was going to get it.
And you want to think about another live golf guy who just might not be there anymore.
Just might not be there anymore? When you say, what do you mean might not be there?
He's not on live golf. Fire some names. You only got one more strike, and you're a long way home.
Yeah, I am a long way home. I'm looking here at. I'm literally just looking at the field, and I've got no clue. Did Xander have a top 2?
Xander has a top 2. That's one more.
I should have thrown that one out way.
All right, we got. We're 5 halfway there, halfway home. One less. Let's go.
Living on a prayer, take my hand. Did Patrick can't let
No, and that's your third strike.
There it is. That's like
who's
hard segment.
This is a great, easy segment, man. You got to get hit with the quick knowledge test here. All right, we got. Oh, I did. That's what sparked this for me.
Okay, give me the rest of the list.
Brooks Koepka, come on, man. Just left live golf.
He was in the same one, that same group with Tony Finau and like Francesco Molinari that one year where it looked like it was going to be them. Yeah.
Yep. One I didn't think you'd get was Sung J M. He did get a.
That was in 2022 or 21.
Yeah, I think 21. And then T3, the 4 names were my boy Tommy, Colin, Shane Lowry, and Max Homa.
I was thinking
I really thought you were going to do...
Did I misunderstand the question?
No, I think you got it. You nailed it.
Because I was only thinking about T.
No, maybe you misheard me then, because at the beginning I did specify 7 of them were T2 and 4 of them were
Okay.
T3.
My wheels might have been turning
But
already. Okay.
hey, listen, you did worse than I thought you would, but we're gonna have a few more of these here and there. Maybe you're giving them to me. Maybe I'm giving them to you.
You think this clip is ever going to see the light of day? This
It might.
embarrassing performance? This is getting clipped out of the video, dog. Ain't nobody ever going to see this. Never. No. Okay. Well,
All right, what do you got for me?
I'm going to flip this back on you. We're going to ask a little bit of a would you rather, but I decided for this segment to give you something that would be fun to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have 7 major championships with no Masters win, or 4 major wins, but you've completed the Grand Slam?
4 with the Grand Slam, of course.
4 with the Grand Slam. So seven majors. So you could have won all of them like twice and then won all the other ones.
Just
And
without
you would,
the Masters.
right, and you would rather have 4 majors and have the Slam than just have
Yes.
7 others?
I would, and let me tell you why.
Tell me
I
why.
think everyone respects Augusta that much. You saw Rory's won everyone except for the Masters. He's a great example of somebody. If he was to have not won that and then won the equivalent to the rest to equal 7, there would be a stain on his legacy, and I think that goes to say with everybody. I can't think of any names. And think of it from the inverse perspective of Scotty Scheffler has 2, but his legacy somehow feels so much more cemented beyond not winning that one because last year he obviously won a few majors. Needless to say,
So
the
not
Masters
being-
means a lot.
being
It
one of
means
the
that much.
6. So you'd rather be one of the 6, which then would be one of the 7 now, including Rory, to have completed the Slam as opposed to have 7 majors?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
So we've got Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and now Rory.
And Jarod McEnroy. I would
And
want
Jarod
myself to be
McEnroy.
on that list. Yeah, 100%.
And then let's see who has more than 7 majors in golf.
Well, you mean 7 or more.
Okay. So you're looking at exactly the same guys, except add Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, and Sam Snead.
All
so
right.
you're still looking at a really quality group of guys. But you would rather have that win at Augusta than have 2 more major championships? Okay.
I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Wouldn't even think twice about it. I think that's interesting.
No. My bank account would feel great with 3 extra majors, especially in today's purses, but I think at that point, if you won the Grand Slam, you got a Rolex deal, you got money coming in other places.
You get that Rolex deal before you win, or right after you win. I'm pretty sure they come up to you with a clipboard. You sign it. They give you the watch so you can hold it up with your trophy.
Uh-huh. All right. Yeah. Great. Would you rather? Is there another Masters edition there, or is that the only one we had?
Would you rather have Rory's dinner or Scotty's dinner?
Rory's dinner every single time. I'm telling you, that was fantastic.
No doubt.
It sounds.
I love the Scotty Scheffler ho-hum kind of classic, whatever. Here's some sliders and stuff, but come on now. Hideki Matsuyama.
Put some effort in. Don't be the cool guy.
Close one.
Oh yeah, that man. Talk about a guy who puts some effort in. Anything else we got on Masters Week that you want to address or get into, or?
I'm just excited to watch the broadcast. They do the best job showing all the golf. They really, really do, and they're so great at it. And I'm so happy that the PGA Tour in particular does not own the Masters, and they just do their own thing every single year. It's so awesome. I'm gonna buy some pimento cheese just so I can have it around the house. Maybe I'll make a sandwich. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
I'm surprised Chick-fil-A hasn't brought back their pimento sandwich yet. It's fantastic.
Feels like a no-brainer. Feels like a no-brainer. I'd make a 30-minute trip to the closest Chick-fil-A just for that.
Side note, their jalapeno sandwich they got in stock right now. You're going to want to go hit that.
Going to go check that out.
Yeah, I agree. The broadcast is great. It's awesome. Just the whole weekend is, man, there's nothing better. And that's why that's one I would want to win. With that being said, make sure you keep an eye out for who takes second this week. That way, in the future, maybe we get a couple more names.
Not likely.
Okay,
Scam likely.
let's get into some NFL. I got a fun one for you today. Might
Yeah.
be more fun, if not as fun as that last one.
This guy's trying to test my ball knowledge.
Initially, I was gonna do a keep three cut five was the inspiration, but I moved into I want to do a blind rank instead. We're gonna do
Ooh.
top 10. I want you to rank these quarterbacks for me. I got 10 names, and you're not gonna know what comes next. So that's how the blind ranking works for those at home. After he hears a name, he's got to assign it on the list, and then we move on from there. So, if you have, would you like to keep track of a 10 in front of you? That way you can place them and know where you have people placed.
Let me do that. How do you count to 10?
Start with 1. That's 1.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. First name up, Baker Mayfield. Where's he on your top 10 quarterbacks? And you don't know the 10 names you're going to get, so just remember that.
Baker's going right in at 5.
Dead 5.
I love this for Big
Dead 5.
Love this for Big Bake.
Wow.
Get that guy on my roster. Get that guy in my locker room.
All right. That's not what I thought. And okay, I will let's take one step back, and I will allow you to change your answer because I didn't, if you would like to. This is to be your starting quarterback for the next 5 years. So we're not just saying just going into this season. We're saying him in his current form, you know who he is and what potentially the next 5 years could be with this guy.
Are you throwing in like random backup QBs to really screw up the list? Or are we talking
Absolutely
like
not. These are all, I will tell you, these are all current starting NFL quarterbacks.
Okay, so Tua is not on this list.
These are 10 current starting quarterbacks, and I won't tell you any of the names other than that.
Other than Baker Mayfield, who came in at number 5.
Okay, so we're keeping him at 5. All right.
Absolutely.
Dak Prescott's the next name up.
Dak's at 6.
Below Baker?
I need a leader. And Dak's a leader on paper.
Listen, it's your list.
A leader
it's
in the
your
trenches.
list. Okay. All right. Next name up, Jordan Love. Where's he on your top 10?
Give him 7.
7. Behind Dak and Baker Mayfield.
He's too inconsistent. I don't know if he's going to throw. He's like who's a good example? Who's he like? He's like Brett Favre with not as much upside. Will let the ball fly. Will make questionable decisions. Also, I'm not sure he's always going to be healthy between his groin and his hamstring. So I'm going to put him there at 7.
Okay. 35-year-old Baker Mayfield 5 years from now is going to look much better than Jordan Love 5 years from now. But
who knows?
Okay, next name up, Caleb Williams. We're staying in division with this one. Wow, you're really keeping it to the center here. You know, you got edges to work with. You can really mix and match.
For how I rank them in my head, these guys are just falling in nicely. Like how you're calculating them to me, how you're giving them to me, it's perfect.
All right. Sam Darnold is your next name.
That's the monkey wrench right there.
Yeah.
Is
he the 8th best name on this list, or is he the 3rd? You got to leave some room in the middle of the. You got to take some swings at some point.
He's a Super Bowl winner.
Super Bowl winner.
He's a Super Bowl.
Be hard to put him at 8.
If I get weapons around him, he's gonna be excellent.
Oh, and you can. This is a hypothetical scenario.
I'm gonna put Sammy D at 3.
Sammy D at 3. Don't hate it. I'll tell you what. Would have really hated 8. I'm not gonna lie to you. Next name up, Brock Purdy. In division.
I'm not an anti-Brock guy. I'm just not a Brock guy, you know?
Huh?
And for that reason, he goes 8. He's got
8
incredible
for Brock
talent,
Purdy.
incredible ability. He's got to be 8.
Okay. Next name up, Joe Burrow. Joe Shiesty. Where we got him on this list?
See, this is a tough one. Because he might retire. Am I going to get a guy who wants to play football?
You're getting 5 years of Joe Burrow ready to play football.
5 years of Joey B? Yeah, go ahead and give him to me at number 1. Nah, I take
number
that back,
1.
Number 2. I don't know who I'm holding out for at number 1, but give me Joey B up there. Give me Joey B at number 2.
Now this will be interesting. Your next name up is Justin Herbert. Now let's just remember, you have two more names on this list.
Yeah.
Is he better than Joe Burrow? Is he better than Sam Darnold? Is he better than Caleb Williams for the next 5 years? And is he better than the two names you haven't heard yet?
Yeah.
Is Justin Herbert the best name on this list? This is a win-win for me. I'll tell you what.
I know
This worked out exactly how I wanted.
Either I look like a lunatic with him at number one, or I'm not giving him the love he deserves, and you get to hold this over my head for how amazing Justin Herbert is. So for that reason, Justin Herbert is going in the number one slot.
Your number one best quarterback. That means you only have 8, 9, or wait, no.
I have 9 and
9
10.
and 10.
9 and 10.
It's going to really hurt when you get this next name, Josh Allen.
I'm going to put Josh Allen at 10.
What a tough situation there.
I'm going to put Josh Allen at 10. And you want to know why?
Why is that?
Turns the ball over when I need him not to turn it over. You know how I feel. Would it be super cool? Would I sell out seats in my stadium? Would, season tickets, jersey sales, would everything be magnificent? Probably go to, the division championship every year? No doubt. But I'm talking about winning Super Bowls, and that's just not going to get it done for me.
I can't wait to create this graphic. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. But the next one up, well, let's just go through the list. Number 1, you have Justin Herbert. Number 2, Joe Burrow. Number 3, Sam Darnold. Number 4, Caleb Williams. Number 5, Baker Mayfield. Number 6, Dak Prescott. 7, Jordan Love. 8, Brock Purdy. Your 9th best quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa.
That's about right.
And then Josh Allen. So I want to clip this. You heard it here first. Nathan thinks that Tua Tagovailoa in 2026 is a better quarterback than Josh Allen. That's my segment. What would you change about your list?
What would I change about this list? I would like to move Caleb Williams up to the 3 spot over Sam Darnold, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still got a lot of potential to continue to get better. I know what Sam Darnold is, which is easy. Honestly, the rest, other than the obvious decision of then putting Josh Allen inside the top 5, but other than that, like everyone else, I wouldn't be stoked about having them on my roster for the next 5 years. Justin Herbert, stoked about. Joey Burrow, stoked about. Caleb Williams, I'd be stoked about. Everyone else, I've seen enough to know that might they have the capability and the potential and help us win a lot of games? Yeah, but I want to win the big one.
Tell you what,
you
figured out my theme to this list it was only going to be guys that we have seen enough of them. And then outside of Sam Darnold, he was more of like he's won the big game, but where would you now value that with, recency bias in mind, etc. So that was the only name that I wanted to add in that had won it, but who was I wanted you so bad to hold out for Pat.
I thought about that.
I wanted it so bad.
You weren't going to give me... I knew that you were either going to give him to me last or not at all. And then when I saw the tension in between where I put Justin Herbert, I knew you didn't have Mahomes on the list. I knew it. And then I would have put him at 10 just like Josh Allen and be like, he's already won Super Bowls. He's lost the drive. Coming off an ACL injury. Like, I already had...
You had an answer ready to go.
I had the answer ready to
Justin
rock.
was always going one. All right.
But hey,
that's your top 10.
Let's stay on this quarterback topic because I've actually got a great would you rather question. Are you ready for it? So this is nothing in the past counts. And this is starting from today. Would you rather be Josh Allen for the next 5 years, or would you rather be Lamar Jackson for the next 5 years? Current situations assume nothing necessarily changes. Nothing drastic changes.
This is a tough question for a couple reasons. Are we taking health into account?
Everything is taken into account. Would you rather be Josh Allen going forward, or would you rather be Lamar Jackson going forward for the next 5 years?
Okay. And on our given teams. I'm just taking over the body. I'm the guy.
Lamar Jackson.
I get a pick.
With the Ravens, or you are Josh Allen with the Bills?
I mean, the easy answer is Josh Allen, right? Because you're thinking about just ability, arm strength, the whole 9. Right now, I like his roster better. Here's where I have an issue: is I don't think I like Joe Brady as a coach. And now you're wasting away more of your prime MVP caliber years on a guy that's probably not going to be the coach to get it done. So that's why the NFL is so tricky, is you now have to take into account your coach, which is way more important in football than any other sport. So, man, 5 years though. That's a long time. And I don't like the direction that the Ravens are headed in. It seems like they've failed a couple times on replenishing weapons for Lamar to play with and play alongside. Derrick Henry's aging and, probably doesn't have too many years left at the caliber of play we've seen. Okay, here's my final answer. It's Josh Allen, unless I'm Lamar and I can go to my front office and say I want to tank immediately and switch into a rebuild, because if I have my hand in building that roster and moving some things around, they can 2 years of competitive high level football with Lamar Jackson's ability, I will take over what I see the future of for the Buffalo Bills. I don't think the Buffalo Bills will win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Clip it if you want. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? My humble opinion, the next 5 years, he's not winning a Super Bowl if he's on the Buffalo Bills.
So you would rather be Lamar then?
Yes. Well, yeah. Only if I can do what I said.
Right, but you can't do that. Like this.
Well, I
is
can't.
This is it.
My GM isn't going to come to your franchise starting quarterback and say, "Hey, you got a hand."
Do you not remember the Ravens owner literally coming out in the press conference before they hired Minter and saying, "Yeah, Lamar doesn't have a say in this situation."
No, that's fine.
Because everyone was talking about Lamar. Who is he going to help bring in as a head coach? How involved is he going to be? And the owner came out and said, "Nah, he's not involved." So Lamar certainly will not be able to request, "Hey, let's."
Well, if I don't get anything, if I get no say in the matter, then I'm taking. I think Josh Allen has a far better chance. I like what they're doing there, because I mean the Joe Brady thing. They can fire him a year, they can fire him 2 years, and they can switch directions. But again, that's 2 years that you could be starting that process now of building what is going to be, let's call it 3 years of really prime, a great chance to go and win a Super Bowl. So if I can't do that, then yeah. Just purely based off of ability, I like Lamar's ability way better. I like his I like the way he runs the football. I like that he's, Josh runs the football but in a different way. I'm a Lamar believer.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like it's almost like the path is being paved for him, where Lamar's paving his own path. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, maybe it's some bias in me of I like Lamar that much, and I really want to see him succeed in the NFL. And we got to see him at Louisville, and it was one of the most electric players we had ever seen. And we thought, oh my gosh, when this guy gets to the NFL, it's going to be just fireworks every time he steps out, and it is that. But I feel like he's been stunted by, like you said, a team and ownership and all of these things that really don't they haven't shown that they're ready to fully commit in a direction to win football games, and that's that. So
okay, so final answer for the clip.
Josh Allen. Okay, there you go. I said it. The Miami Dolphins fan picked Josh Allen.
Okay, as long as we're clear. As long as we're clear. And staying on a similar approach, because you just started talking about all these different coaches and situations and hire and fire and rebuild. Would you rather, as a head coach, when you get, there's two types of jobs you can get, right? Either you get the team that's horrible and you're stepping in, or a legend retires. Would you rather get an NFL coaching job where your core responsibility is to tank and rebuild for the next couple of years and likely be a scapegoat? Or would you rather take over a legend's spot, a legend, and potentially have an aged and expiring roster? Would you rather? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm trying to compare these to actual situations right now. So you're okay.
Let's even
So
simplify
kind of
it.
like a Jeff Halfley in one way, of you're taking over a team where you've never coached before, and yeah, or the opposite, you're taking over. Let's say if Vrabel was to have stepped into that New England team right away when Brady left. Basically, that's the scenario.
Yeah, like do you want to replace Belichick on a roster that started falling apart, or do you want to replace any number of teams over the last several years that have tanked, and the next guy comes in and he's screwed?
Yeah,
It's like, what do you want to do for your head coaching career?
I would say I would take the tanking team again because now I am in a position where I can, manipulate the roster and what my team looks like within my system. And you already have a team that's fully committed and understands that that's the goal at hand, is to, maybe lose football games for a year, but, in some ways you can still go out and be competitive. So I would have to say probably that role, because taking over an aged, just an old roster, played out roster, a team that's kind of run its course, like similar to like Joe Brady with the Bills this year. I mean, that team has pretty much run its course, and it's going to take up pretty much an overhaul. That's a tough situation to be in. That's why I said it's going to be hard for him if he can't make this work right away. All of a sudden, especially for him, because he's been on the team been with the team for a few years now. So now your clock resets. Now your team wants to tank, and usually the coach goes before the tank starts. So I would say if you're the one that's coming in after the tank, you're at least have a shot. But if you're coming into a team that hasn't made it happen and is now super old, it's not a good look. You're probably not going to be there very long.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks. Jarod would rather take over the tanking team and turn them around than revive what a legendary coach has allowed to fall to pieces. I respect that.
Give me what Clint Kubiak's about to walk into.
Okay. I wouldn't hate that, because that's if you're talking about a tanking situation, but I think they're actually not going to tank and be competitive. I'm down with that. Competitive
one more year.
Word. Competitive is not the right word.
If they were to tank one more year, though, and have this be just like Kirk Cousins go just throw the ball around, throw 40 picks this year, lose a bunch of games, and now I got Jeremiah Smith, I got Fernando Mendoza, I got bodies all over the football field now.
Bodies. I respect that.
Exactly. Just saying.
That's all I got for you on the Would You Rathers.
All right. You don't have any trivia for me?
No trivia. I didn't want to come at you.
Who lost the Super Bowl for the last 10 years?
Yeah, exactly. When you can complete that list,
I could tell you.
Tell me right now. Don't even look it up.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I get my years mixed up. I know the Bengals are on that list. I know the Eagles are on that list. I know the Chiefs are on that list. I know yeah, it's just the 49ers are certainly on that list.
Niners are on the list.
Couple times.
We're not going to go over it. We're not going to go over it.
Nonetheless, you got your ball knowers and you got your non-golf ball knowers. And
Apparently. I'll work on remembering the first loser next time.
To wrap up the point of that entire segment, though, just to bring it back, it's great to see all of these names are still the relevant, big-hitting names in the field this week. And it goes to show that experience at Augusta matters, and don't expect to be a first-time winner. Your first time around the block. And the reason I thought of this was because of the Chris Goddard talk. And I know we just talked NFL. Mm-hmm. We're going back to the Masters for a second. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen anything about the whole Chris Goddard. He's talking about the course. He's talking about getting to play with Justin Rose, play around, whatever. Don't expect this guy to come out and just fire. Like the Oberg thing was a fluke. Like, we happened to catch him on a good week. And he didn't win it, so doesn't matter. And he also got blown out by Scotty just like everybody else. So same goes to Jacob Bridgman too. We know they're big. We know they're hot right now. We know they're playing good golf. We know they're American and we want to root for them. Give it a break, man. It's they don't have a snowball's chance in hell this week. And maybe that's aggressive, but they just don't.
You know who I think could win if they just wore normal clothes? Jason Day.
Okay.
He's just distracting himself.
He has a top 2 finish.
He does, and he's historically been very good at Augusta because he has great short game and great putting. He could put a top 10 week together, but his shirt just might get in the way.
Yeah, if you have a loose fit shirt, it can catch the elbow on the way back or maybe on the way through. You have to create space.
And let me be clear, I love Malbon. I love Malbon as street apparel. You've seen me with the hats. The oversized stuff as far like golf performance, right? Let's perform in golf. But yeah, what Steve Malbon has done is awesome with the brand, and I love to see more players in general getting into these niche brands, and you don't just see, the 3 stripes, the checks, Under Armour. You don't see those everywhere. You got a little bit more nuance. I think that's cool in golf.
You know what? Let's take it home with that. That was a great wrap up from you, especially coming from a guy who is very traditional. Some of those golf shoes you were thinking about buying that you sent my way, we got to retire the old look a little bit. But with that being said, with that being said, yeah, the Justin Thomas ones. Oh God, throw those away. We're gonna sell them.
Something about a classic look, but I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for seeing us in episode 9 of the Know Your Personnel podcast. I'm Nathan Hawthorne. This is Jarod McElroy, and we will see you guys on the next one.